Howdy everyone, Douglas Ducote here, founder and CEO of Veterans United for Justice, retired U.S. Army, veteran law enforcement officer, the co-host on Real World Witness radio show on megaone.net. Folks, what I'm fixing to share with you, you may or may not have already seen this or heard this before. It is very disturbing to me. And to most patriots across America, I'm sure it's going to be very disturbing to you as well. A few days ago, when this was brought to my attention, I posted in the community section, which you can go up and read, my open letter to Congressman Keith Ellison of Minnesota about a photograph that was circulating on the internet and Facebook, a photograph of him holding an ANTIFA handbook. All right, and that would be the photograph right there, okay? And obviously I was shocked when I saw that. A sitting member of Congress holding this handbook. So I contacted the Minnesota office, his, and also the one in Washington, D.C., asking for comment. They told me someone would get back to me. I wrote an email to them asking for someone to address this issue. Basically, is this a real photograph of the congressman holding this book? If so, why? Or was it photoshopped? Because I did not want to come out and do a video about this issue without having some facts. Because lots of things are photoshopped on in pictures all over Facebook and all over the internet. All right, so I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I wanted him to have the option of addressing it. Then several things were brought to my attention. One was his Twitter feed. From his Twitter feed, he says, "I just found the book that strikes fear in the heart of at real Donald Trump." And there's a picture of him again, holding it. Okay, maybe it's fake Twitter feed. I don't know. Could be. So, today I called back to both offices, the one in Minnesota and in Washington, D.C., after I received a response from the congressman about this picture. And I'm going to read you his response. And I want you to read how carefully written this is. "Dear Staff Sergeant Douglas Ducote, thank you for contacting me with your concerns. I am honored to hear from you and proud to represent you since coming to Congress. I've been working very hard to advance my policy agenda based on 4 key priorities: peace, prosperity for working families, environmental sustainability, and support for human and civil rights. As Americans, we are privileged to live in a democracy country and a Democrat country that upholds our freedoms and allows for political participation by all people. We expect our federal government to represent our interests and to keep our country safe and prosperous. I firmly believe it is my duty as your representative to listen to the values and opinions of everyone within my district. Many of the problems we are currently facing do not have easy answers. I believe, however, that we must continue to strive for laws that promote inclusion, allow citizens to live with integrity, and provide the necessary support so people can live in a clean, healthy, and safe communities. I believe that these goals can be reached through wise investments and thoughtful legislation. Thank you for contacting me. I will be sure to keep your views in mind. Please do not hesitate to contact me again on any issues of concern. Signed, sincerely yours, Keith Ellison, United States House of Representatives." So I called today, and once again, I addressed with both offices, his in Washington, D.C., and the one in Minnesota, this photograph, told him about the letter I received, and said, he isn't directly answering my question, is the photo photoshopped, Or is it really him supporting Antifa? Does he support Antifa? Explain this. And both the Washington office and the Minnesota office responded with, "We have no comment." So, based on the evidence that I just shared with you, it is my belief that this is not photoshopped and that he actually believes and supports Antifa. Congressman Ellison, Antifa to American Patriots, to probably 99.9% of every law enforcement officer in the United States of America, is a domestic terrorist organization that is hell-bent on showing up everywhere that American patriots show up to express their freedoms of speech, their freedoms of religion, and to voice their concerns over our government and the direction of our country. They show up with baseball bats and mace and their face covered, and they attack, and they brutally attack innocent women, children, and men. That is what they do. They are a disruptive, horrible, hateful organization. They are domestic terrorists. And we have a sitting member of Congress, representative, one each, Keith Ellison, that supports these bastards. Now, let me share with you real quickly just a few things about him that I was able to find on the internet, and I would suggest that you too do your own homework and find out about this man that has managed to get into the United States Congress. But first, let me tell you, he is one of only 2 Muslims to have made it into U.S. Congress. That is correct. He is a Muslim. First thing I'd like to share, Nation of Islam membership. As a law student in 1989 and 1990, Ellison wrote several columns under the name Keith E. Hackman in the student newspaper, the Minnesota Daily. He defended Farrakhan against claims of racism and further wrote that Farrakhan is also not an anti-Semite and called affirmative action a sneaky form of compensation for slavery, suggesting that white Americans instantly pay reparations to blacks. Mother Jones reported that under the name Keith X. Ellison, he wrote defenses of Farrakhan against accusations of anti-Semitism after the 1995 Million Man March, and again in 1997, although Ellison would later admit to minimizing his involvement with the Nation of Islam, even going so far as claiming he wasn't a member. But Minister James Muhammad, a former leader of the Nation of Islam's Twin Cities Study Group, says that Ellison had served for several years as the group's chief of protocol, in which capacity he acted as a liaison between Muhammad and local communities. So which is it, sir? Number 2, as far as the Trump administration is concerned, Ellison has declared that he is open to demands to start an impeachment process against President Trump, saying Donald Trump has already done a number of things which raise the question of impeachment. No, sir, he hasn't, and if you believe he has, you are batshit crazy. 3, gun rights. In March of 2014, Ellison was on the Bill Maher show. And Bill asked him, why doesn't your party, the Democrat Party, come out against the Second Amendment? And he responded, it is a problem. I sure wish they would. I sure wish they would. So he's against your Second Amendment rights. And the last thing about this clown I would like to share is his view on Iran. You know, the people that harbor terrorists, the country that supports Hamas, the country that continues to supply weapons that kill and maim U.S. service members. He supports normalizing Iran-United States relations and reopening an embassy in Tehran. Folks, I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. We have a sitting member of Congress, a Muslim, that supports the domestic terrorist organization ANTIFA and supports one of the biggest, largest supporters of terrorism worldwide, Iran. He has managed to get into the United States Congress, and he's been there for a few years now. Please share this with everyone you know. Let everyone in the United States know what this man is up to. Please. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, law enforcement, first responders, our veterans, their families. God bless our President, America, and may you each have a wonderful and blessed day. I'm Douglas Ducote, and I'm out.